Hey everyone. So this game here is Mutant Boxing League. It's being developed for the Quest range of VR headsets and is currently available in App Lab and SideQuest. In other words, it's in early access, and the developers were kind enough to give me a key for the game upon request through Lurkit. I've been playing the game on Quest 3 and the performance is fantastic. Though the video feed when casting is really choppy, that could easily be a me problem though. After a little bit of hands-on time with the game, I have some initial first thoughts I'd like to share, for the benefit of both potential purchasers of the game and to provide feedback to Filmic Studios. The short of it is, I like where Mutant Boxing League is heading. But stick around and I'll try to more clearly explain the pros and cons of the game from my perspective. Some context then, as we do. Filmic Studios is a name shared by a few companies, but the one relevant to this video is a game developer based in Stockholm, Sweden. They haven't released any games yet, but there are two currently in development. One is named Color Run, the other is this game, Mutant Boxing League. Filmic Studios strike me as a little coy at the moment, as there's little information available online about them or any of their games. Holding their cards quite close to their chest perhaps, game design is a business full of copycats, don't blame them. Makes researching them for context a little bit difficult, however. So unfortunately, I can't bring you a great deal of information about the history of the company, but I can share with you my thoughts on Mutant Boxing League, so that's what I'll do. The game's kind of like a VR version of Punch-Out!, more specifically the one from the Wii. So you've got these larger-than-life opponents with their own quirks and fighting styles, and you've got to duck and weave to dodge, and then come in for a few quick jabs or a couple of hooks. It's a great bit of exercise, and if you can tell, I'm still a little bit out of breath from playing a few moments ago. If you're looking for VR games to integrate into your workout, this is a pretty solid pick. Worth noting, the game loads up pretty quickly. Either the game is already significantly well optimized, or the developers have engaged in some kind of black magic ritual. It could be either. There are some unlockable gloves as you progress through the opponents. I've been unable to unlock the third glove. The third opponent in Mutant Boxing League, Blitz Bell, is something of a sudden difficulty spike. Bell's attacks are unblockable and cannot be parried either, and her strongest attack does not appear to be sufficiently telegraphed before it happens. This is where I keep losing, which is unfortunate. Despite not being able to make a great amount of progress through the game's story mode, I have found considerable enjoyment in Mutant Boxing League's minigames. These minigames usually appear during a match, and must be executed successfully to recover from being knocked out, but you can also play them freely in the training mode. These are great for building up a sweat, I just wish they lasted a little longer. The option to quickly restart after they're finished would be a great alternative to increasing their duration. I'll take either change. A few criticisms then. I usually get away with having a small amount of space to play VR, but Mutant Boxing League needs a considerable amount more space. I suppose this is a positive, as Filmic Studios have essentially forced me to tidy my play space, to squeeze out just a little bit of extra room. The play space is more wide than breadthy, so in order to play Mutant Boxing League, I need to turn 90 degrees and reset my orientation. Even then, during a fight I'll often see my Guardian show up on Quest when playing. If you're not familiar with Guardian, it's a blue wall that becomes visible when you're close to it. It's supposed to indicate where you can and can't stand. The problem with Quest headsets is that even on the lowest sensitivity, the Guardian is far too sensitive, and every time those walls appear when playing, it just takes me out of the experience. The only real solution is to play somewhere with more floor space. I know there was once a way to turn the Guardian off in the developer's settings, but I'm not sure it's even possible on the Quest 3. Maybe I should book out a church hall one afternoon every week for a VR workout. That was a joke, but it might honestly be a good idea. I like what's on offer here in Mutant Boxing League, and it will certainly be a go-to title whenever I want to work up a sweat, but I can't say I'm truly enthralled by the game as it currently stands. There's certainly more time for new features to be added before the game reaches public release, and as it stands, it's definitely a nice cap to a VR workout, a nice bookend to my Kizuna Eye sessions. So the ultimate takeaway from this video then, I suppose, is to keep building upon what's there. Maybe nerf Blitz Bell a little, add an easy-to-use retry function so you can quickly restart a minigame without having to reselect it from the side. Fix the Coach Mitts minigame so you don't accidentally hit another mitt when trying to bring your arms back to your sides. Maybe make the upward punches more lenient in the mitts challenge. Those are the more noticeable issues I've experienced. It would be nice to see this game eventually launch on PC VR through Steam so that more players can enjoy it, But that said, the untethered nature of the Quest headsets is part and parcel of this game's heavy movement emphasis, and if that's what's required to make it work, then I wouldn't have it any other way. If you're looking for some good exercise on Quest, this game will certainly knock the wind out of you. Perhaps once it's been tightened up, it might even be a knockout. Until next time, if we live that long.